Hello everyone and welcome back to Robottal Wars. Now last week we saw the end of the round of 32 and this week we are here. The final 16 robots of Robottal Wars are here as we get closer and closer to the grand final. Now throughout this episode we're going to find out which robots will move on to the round of 8. Without further ado, let's find out the fights tonight. And our first match is the configuration bot Kaisyu taking on that incredibly low flipper of Platypus. Then after that, it's the full body Waiachi style spinner of Summit taking on the full body spinner of Kouros. Then the powerful vertical spinner of Bloodshot will take on the extremely aggressive Wipeout. Following that, we will see the chaotic cluster bot of Bot Patrol take on the sleek and controlled Corrosive. And then we will be seeing the pistoning spikes of Ramification take on the sleek but deadly Redeye. Then it's two of the most dangerous robots in Robottal Wars as the drum spinner of Vertigo takes on the dual axe head of Ewox. And then two glass cannons of Robottal Wars. The 6-wheel drive Hadron will take on the vertical beta spinner of Getting Even. And then in our main event, Niz with its big Mechavore spinner will take on the extremely powerful Spatula. This is one hell of a card as we whittle it down to find out the round of 8. Let's not waste any more time and let's get into the first fight. Here we go, the first fight of the night, Kaisyu and Spatula. Now Kaisyu, I'm guessing the same reasons as last time, has gone for the drum. Kaiju's not incredibly low, so not likely to win a wedge battle with a flipper, especially a robot like Platypus, easily the lowest robot in the competition. And as you can see, Kaisyu with some early aggression right there, definitely doing some damage to the flipper, but Platypus right back on the offensive here in this battle. Kaisyu is going to have to want to try and keep that drum spinning and try to get some more damage. But at the moment, Platypus being incredibly aggressive, incredibly controlling. Wonderful work there by Platypus. But a little bit of grazing there with the drum there. If Kaisyu gets Platypus in an awkward predicament, it could really change the tide of the battle. Platypus, however, at the moment, keeping in control very nicely here in this bout. As you can see there, nearly out of the arena, but thankfully, for Kaisyu at least, not out yet. And Kaisyu getting in those little bits of damage here and there, still remaining very aggressive despite what's happened. And as you can see, the hat of Platypus has been destroyed. Now that may be superficial damage, but it's still going to be damage points. Oh, this could be a bit more significant here. Look at this. If anything happens to those flippers, that could really change the tide of the match. And there goes a flipper from Platypus. Platypus now down a flipper. It can still chuck Kaisyu about. You can also see one of the forks on the front of Platypus is gone. While it'll still be able to flip, that could really change the tide should this go to the judges. That is critical damage right there. That is half of the weapon gone. And now we're seeing Kaiju's aggression really start to come into fray here as Platypus runs away to try and back it up, tries to go for a flip, but it mistimed it terribly, and Kaisyu could take the second flipper now. Look at that, the drum ripping and tearing away, and there it goes! The second flipper is gone! And there we seem to have a little bit of a problem with the in-game physics engine, but no matter, the robots have recovered, but my god! The skirts on the side of Platypus, the left-hand side, they're gone too. And we're seeing some great late-game aggression from Kaisyu here. Platypus in trouble, and it goes to a judge's decision. My god, now if we were to look at the beginning, that was clearly Platypus's fight. Great control, great aggression, did lose the hat, but that wouldn't have been enough. But then the tides turned. The flipper torn away from Platypus. Kaisyu, the aggression and control started to go into its favour. Or at the very least, even if it's just the aggression, the damage absolutely racked up here so quickly. The drum doing a lot of damage to Platypus. This is going to be such a tough decision for the judges in this one. I'm not sure which way they're going to go, but either way, I think we're going to have a rightful winner, no matter the conclusion made. The judges have ruled that while Platypus had control, aggression was fairly down the middle, and due to the damage points, Kaisyu will be moving on to the round of 8, and Platypus's journey ends here. Condolences to Platypus, but we must move on, as it's now two of the most fearsome spinners in Robottal Wars, Summit versus Kouros. Here we go, two deadly spinners, and you can see Kouros getting right out of the gate, already up to speed. Summit's also up to speed, but look at that! Oh! Summit nearly lost balance there. That could have been a big problem if they'd have shown low control. That could have absolutely turned the tide. But we're seeing the teeth from Kouros starting to fly away there. Some of the smaller teeth, and you're starting to see it's getting a bit unbalanced. But Kouros, still remaining aggressive at the moment, keeps pushing it. Oh my god! The shell of Kouros! The shell of Kouros is gone! My word! What a hit there! Must have been glancing blows on the top of the shell there, as well as the sides. The top of the shell of Kouros, vulnerable, and now the chassis, the weaker part of Kouros, and it's been knocked out! Oh my god! My god! The problem with some of the shell spins we've been seeing in Robottal Wars seem to have a weak top, and we saw once again that get exploited, and the chassis underneath was vulnerable. Summit, once again, so aggressive, so dangerous, so hard to approach. Kouros performed magnificently, staying aggressive till the bitter end, but it just wasn't enough to stop the beast that is Summit. And a devastating victory for Summit. Summit looks unstoppable, but now we move on to another hugely dangerous spinner in Robottal Wars. Bloodshot will be taking on the robot that has been getting out of the arenas consistently, very quickly in fact, Wipeout, the front hinge flipper. Who's going to come out on top and move on to the round of 8? Here we go, once again, Bloodshot, Wipeout. This is going to come down to ground clearance here, and Bloodshot got the poorest exchange here. This could be a big problem if Wipeout can capitalise. You can see there, getting knocked about, and as it was recovering, Wipeout got underneath and flipped it, nearly it sent it out straight away. Wipeout looking to capitalise, but Bloodshot maybe not in the right position. Oh, there we go, Wipeout gives it a try, but just not in the right angle. You can see there the power. If the angle had been slightly different, that could have been out of the arena right there. Bloodshot's hopes were this close to ending, but Bloodshot now in control, gotten around that wedge of Wipeout, and now Wipeout could be in serious trouble right here. If that vertical spinner gets up to speed, it's going to rip and tear Wipeout apart. Wipeout now trying to recover, but Bloodshot's up to speed now, and now that they're a bit more that Bloodshot's a bit more controlled, we can see that that front is actually quite low. But Wipeout with the 4-wheel drive winning the pushing battle, but now back up the wedge again. And you have to imagine that even if it's not getting those huge hits yet, Bloodshot is definitely doing some damage to that wedge. And once that happens, oh my god, I was just about to say once the wedge edge goes, that could turn the tide. And we see it right here, Wipeout already smoking as it starts to gut rip. Wipeout here, look at that, Wipeout struggling, trying to find some way to bounce back here. But look at this, pinned up against the wall, smoking, being torn apart. It's nearly dead. It's dead. Wipeout is done. And as you can see in the replay here, It was early on Wipeout's battle for sure, and if Wipeout had continued like it has in previous battles, I don't think Bloodshot would have ever gotten a look in, but that mistimed flip was the beginning of the end really. Despite its best attempts, Bloodshot, continuously on the aggressive, was able to quickly end Wipeout's chances. Once it capitalized, it was all over, and Bloodshot, once again showing its devastation, moves on. My god, Bloodshot is one to watch. That's a robot where you can't even blink, because you might just miss the moment where Bloodshot turns the battle around. But now we move on to the next fight between the chaotic clusterbot of Bot Patrol versus the sleek but deadly Corrosive. Here we go, Bot Patrol, Corrosive. Bot Patrol Spinner getting up to speed, but Corrosive right on the offensive. The Flipper having a rush in there, and they're nearly out of the arena. My god, what an opener there. You can see there, before the Bot Patrol Spinner could get up to speed, it was stopped, taken off of its feet, and now it's trying to self-right. Meanwhile, the Flipper in trouble here. Corrosive absolutely not wasting any time here. Very good bit of tactical play there. Get the Spinner out of the picture so you can focus on the more controlled Flipper. Oh my goodness, the Spinner is back in action. Trying to get a hit in, and it's off again. Bot Patrol, that chaotic nature proving to be a blessing and a curse for them in this tournament. At the moment, absolutely being a curse. Bot Patrol Spinner in, and oh, a big hit there. And the Spinner, look at this, oh my god. And Corrosive now, sick of the Bot Patrol Spinner, looking to put it away. The Flipper, however, trying to come to the aid of its comrade. But now Corrosive going immediately back to them. The Spinner getting a nice little blow on Corrosive and off again. Good grief. Bot Patrol is such a hard robot to commentate for because it is so hard to keep up with everything that's happening. Oh, we got a flip there from the Flipper of Bot Patrol, and the Spinner is back in action, accidentally hits its comrade, and it's gone again. Meanwhile, it doesn't seem to matter though. The Flipper was doing great, but Corrosive back on the offensive. That wedge, oh, I was about to say that wedge isn't as low as it might need to be, but look at that. Now, getting in on the Flipper. Look at this. My god, that is beautiful work right there by Corrosive. The Flipper of Bot Patrol, every time it was falling, fell onto the Spinner. Undoubtedly did a lot of damage there. You've got to wonder how well the Flipper of Bot Patrol is working right now as the Spinner comes to try and take the day. Oh my goodness, I think it once again hit its friend. And the Spinner's gone. The Spinner is out of the competition. And now it's all down to the Flipper. The Flipper can't seem to get underneath Corrosive here. This could be a problem, because if it goes to a judge's decision, I have no doubt it'll go to Corrosive on this one. When half of your clusterbot's gone, that is an extremely hard sell to the judges. The Flipper trying everything it can to stay in the competition here, but I don't think there's anything it can do. It's as helpless as it's helpless against Corrosive. And Corrosive, if it gets underneath, if it gets that good wedge, no, the judge's decision is gonna have to. The judges are gonna have to come to a decision on this one, as we've reached the 3 minutes. But you can see right there, even from the early offset, this was Corrosive's fight. Corrosive, constantly aggressive, for the most part in control, apart from a brief time with the Flipper. But you have to think that period, as good as it was to show the capabilities of the Flipper of Bot Patrol, that's not going to be enough to sway the judges on this one, as Corrosive continuously on the attack here, ripping and tearing, sending the Spinner out of the arena. We have to go to the judges as part of the rules, but you have to imagine that it's a foregone conclusion which way they're going to rate this one. I think that is going to be the absolute deciding factor on this matchup, but we're going to wait and see what the judges have to say. And the judges have decided, obviously, that Corrosive absolutely dominated the match. Now we're moving on as Ramification takes on Redeye. Here we go, Redeye, Ramification. Redeye and Ramification going right for each other. Redeye has that 6-wheel drive. Those robots designed very differently from each other. You can see Redeye designed to try and be as compact while holding as much tech as possible. 6-wheel drive, 2 very powerful flippers. It's very sleek while holding a lot in it. Meanwhile, Ramification, a lot more basic, but the size is to try and contain, those powerful 2-wheel drive motors, that powerful pistoning spike. It's not got as much going under the hood, but it's trying to get the most bang for what it has. You can see there the flipping power of Redeye. Looks like Redeye might get the better of this situation if this keeps up. Gotta say though, 10 points for sticking the landing, Ramification. But man, oh man, Ramification once again losing the wedge battle. Oh my goodness! Slotted perfectly right there. Look at that. Flying through the air and bam! Just like that. You saw the Shremek there for a moment trying to get it back in. You see the flamethrower on Ramification. But that's it. There's no way for them to get back in. No purchase on the wheels. The Self-Rider wasn't doing a thing. This one's gone to Redeye. Oh, wow. Ramification. I wasn't sure what they'd be able to do anyway, but Redeye making extremely quick work here of Ramification. You see there, Ramification flying through the air, slotted perfectly outside. There's not a lot else to say. Redeye goes through. And there you have it. Redeye joins the round of 8. But now, who will join them as Vertigo takes on Ewox? Here we go, Vertigo and Ewox. Here we go, look at this. Ooh, Vertigo. Similar problem to what Bloodshot had and tries to get back in. But look at that, the axe striking down. Oh, bits and pieces of the drum. The drum is broken apart. My God, Ewox getting straight into this. Look at that, bashing and smashing away. The body smoking. Could be in massive trouble. Sparks have flown. And it's a knockout. It's a knockout already. This is not what I expected going into this encounter. Vertigo normally does not give a chance for the opponents, but Ewox turning that strategy against Vertigo. Once it got under, Vertigo got suffocated by those dual axe blades. Congratulations to Ewox, it's moving on. Ewox moving on to the round of 8. Easily the best axe bot in Robottal Wars. We're moving on to 2 big spinners, in fact, right this moment, as Getting Even takes on Hadron. And here we go, Hadron getting even, going right for it. Look at that, the speed of Hadron racing right through, but getting uppercutted by Getting Even. Hadron about to go over, trying to crawl back in, but no! It's out already, and it's the wheels are not getting enough purchase to go out. Was that the quickest battle in Robottal Wars? Good God almighty. I don't know what to say there. Well, that was a fight and a half, wasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Just as quickly as Hadron's drive propels it across the arena, Getting Even was able to eliminate it. That is something I don't think any of us expected. And so now we move on to the final match of the evening. It's Niz versus Spatula. Here we are, the main event of the evening. Niz versus Spatula, and my God, obviously Spatula gonna win the wedge war here between the 2 robots. But then again, that's kind of ignoring the point of the design of Niz. Niz isn't meant to try and get under the opponents though. I mean, look what it's done here. The whole point is kind of similar to what you see of robots like Supernova or Tombstone, in that the idea is that the weapon just keeps spinning, keeps doing damage, and as you can see right here, getting underneath, probably doing damage to the underside of Spatula. Either way, pushing it against the wall, some good control points as Spatula, helpless to do anything. That low to the ground design means that the wheels, once upended, the wheels don't have much purchase on the ground. My god! Niz, I was about to say, bounces off the wall, but no! Spatula caught it and sent it back out again. Look at this. You can see there Niz denying the out of the arena, but Spatula catching it perfectly right there. Niz trying to deny it again, but cannot deny its fate. Out of the arena, Niz is done. Look at it, it's trying to get out, but no, being counted out. Spatula with a dominant display right there. Moving on to the round of 8. Spatula, probably one of the best flippers we have in Robottal Wars. Here you can see in the replay, Niz flying through the air right there. Niz did get underneath, likely due to the bucking from that flipper, but after that, Spatula got underneath, up in the air, bounced again across, denied the out of the arena, and Spatula denied the denial. An Uno reverse card for the Uno reverse card. Good lord. And there you have it. That was a quick main event, but my god, was it a fun one to watch. Niz is out of the competition. Spatula is moving on to the round of 8 as we crown ourselves our Robottal Wars Series 1 champion. And with that all that said and done, that was carnage. That was mayhem. That was Robottal Wars. Goodbye.